This week, our schools are also doing a staggered start. And this is, again, we know that schools are safe. They're the best and safest place for our children, and they are essential. They're essential for their social and emotional development as well as intellectual development. And it is not because we have any concerns about that. It's because as we've watched what is happening with Omicron and how it is affecting so many people, I have tasked schools specifically to take stock and prepare plans to safely operate over the coming months with the potential for reduced staff and keeping children safely in school and reducing the risk of functional closures because of staff illness. It's essential that we keep our schools open for children, just as we've kept grocery stores and pharmacies and hospitals open. This is going to be and remains our highest priority. We need to do this, and to do this we need flexibility from everyone, from administrators and staff and teachers and parents, and of course, kids too. If your children are higher risk, it may mean things like pausing extracurricular activities to focus on school and the importance of school. Thankfully, we know that COVID-19 remains, and even with the Omicron variant, remains mild in most children. And we know that with the availability of vaccines, it reduces the risk dramatically more for children and for staff. Everybody in schools should be vaccinated, and vaccines are the best protection for all of us. So while schools are most definitely a reflection and extension of our communities, they have not, and we've seen this consistently, and there's no reason to think it will be different now. They are not a major source of transmission. And schools, the measures that we have in place and adding in, going back to some of the ones that we were using early on, means that they are an important place to keep open for all students starting next week. As I said, this remains our highest priority, and I know the highest priority of the tens of thousands of school staff, teachers, educators, and parents and principals and school district staff across the province, and we're committed to making sure that we're getting children back as soon as possible and doing our best for our children across the province. And part of course, one of the important things that we have in schools is that we wear masks when we're in the classrooms, when we're in the school settings, and I remind everybody that the best mask is the one that you wear properly and consistently. And a good fitting mask with 3 layers is equally protective if it's the one that you're wearing. And remember that the mask alone, of course, is not your only protection. You need to use all of these layers, including vaccination, including keeping your distance, including minimizing the time that you're in a crowded indoor space, particularly if the ventilation is poor. I know some people have called for the increased use of respirators or N95s routinely, and I'll just say in the majority of settings, the incremental benefit in a low-risk setting like a school or a retail store is minimal. What is most important is that you have a good-fitting mask that you wear, and you wear appropriately. The other important thing, of course, is as much as possible, if you are feeling unwell, to stay home and stay away from others until it resolves. Don't go to gatherings, no matter how small. And testing is, of course, important. We now, as you know, are at our limit of our PCR testing, and we need to make sure we have that available for people where that test is important because they have underlying risk factors or may be eligible for treatments. So those are things that are really important right now, and we are using the rapid antigen tests that we have to be able to supplement that for people who have symptoms and are lower risk.